One of the most important decisions you will ever make in the publishing process is choosing the right journal. A great manuscript submitted to the wrong journal will be rejected immediately, not because the science is weak, but because the journal is simply not the right fit. Let's break down how to choose a reputable journal. 1. Reputable journals are indexed and peer-reviewed. A legitimate journal is indexed in recognized databases like PubMed, Web of Science, Scopus, or DOAJ. Indexing is a sign that the journal meets certain quality standards. 2. Use trusted tools to evaluate journals. The slide mentions the Observatory of International Research, or OIR.org. This is a helpful tool to check journal performance, trends, and credibility. Another tip: search the journal on Google Scholar or Simago Journal Rank to check metrics, authorship, and visibility. 3. Avoiding predatory journals. Predatory journals are a major threat in modern publishing. They promise unrealistically fast acceptance, charge high fees, and skip proper peer review. To protect yourself, check Beall's or Cabell's lists. Look for transparent editorial boards. Verify the journal's physical address and publisher. Avoid journals that email you with aggressive invitations. If it sounds too good to be true, think twice. 4. Seek guidance. When in doubt, ask your mentors, supervisors, or colleagues where they publish. People in your field often know which journals are credible and which ones to avoid. 5. Use available resources. Look at journal websites, instructions for authors, past issues, and reviewer guidelines. A legitimate journal has clear processes, clear fees, and a transparent editorial workflow. A quick question: have you ever received an email inviting you to publish in a journal you've never heard of? How did you know whether it was legitimate or predatory? Choosing the right journal is not only about acceptance, it protects your academic reputation and ensures your research reaches the right audience. Once you've identified potential journals, the next question becomes, how do I measure their quality? That's where journal metrics come in. Let's briefly walk through the key ones you'll encounter. 1. Impact factor, IF. This is the most well-known metric. It measures the average number of citations received per paper published in the journal during the previous 2 years. A high impact factor may indicate influence, but it does not guarantee that the journal is right for your specific topic. Many specialized journals have modest IFs yet publish excellent science. 2. H-index. This metric applies to both authors and journals. It reflects productivity and citation impact. For example, an H-index of 20 means the journal or researcher has at least 20 papers cited 20 times or more. It is a broader indicator, but again, it should not be the only deciding factor. 3. SCI MIAGO Journal Rank, SJR. SJR goes beyond simple citation counting. It weighs citations based on the prestige of the journals they come from, meaning a citation from the Lancet is valued more than a citation from a low-tier journal. SJR also categorizes journals into quartiles, Q1 to Q4. Many researchers aim for Q1 or Q2 journals, but Q3 and Q4 journals can be equally appropriate depending on your topic and audience. Important reminder: metrics should be treated as guides, not as absolute measures of journal quality. The slide itself reminds us, consider more than metrics: quality, scope, audience. A journal with a huge audience but outside your field may not serve you as well as a lower impact journal that targets the exact readers you want to reach. I want to hear from you. Which of these metrics have you used before? IF, H-index, or SJR? And why did you choose that one? Then ask, if you had an excellent paper today, would you choose a high-impact general journal or a lower-impact specialized journal? What would be your reasoning? To summarize, Metrics help you compare journals, but they should never replace good judgment. With that in mind, let's explore another major decision in publishing: open access versus subscription journals. When selecting a journal, one of the biggest decisions you will face is whether to publish in an open access journal or a subscription-based journal. Each model has advantages and limitations, and your choice will depend on your goals, your audience, and sometimes your budget. Let's look at both options clearly. 1. Open access journals. These journals make your article freely accessible to everyone: clinicians, researchers, students, and even the public generally. The advantages are wider visibility and impact. Your work can be read and cited by anyone without paywalls. Faster dissemination, ideal for public health, emerging infections, and fast-moving fields. Greater global accessibility. Researchers in low and middle-income countries benefit enormously. The limitations: many open access journals charge article processing charges, APCs, which can be expensive. Some authors mistake predatory journals for legitimate open access publishers. You must still evaluate the journal carefully. 2. Subscription journals. These are traditional journals where readers or their institutions pay for access. The advantages: often no APCs for authors. Publishing may be free for you. Many subscription journals are long established with strong reputations. Limitations: restricted readership. Only individuals or institutions with subscriptions can access your work. Reduced visibility, especially in regions without institutional access. Important tip: if cost is a concern, always check for waivers for authors from low-income or lower middle-income countries, institutional agreements, discounts for early career researchers. Look for fee waivers and institutional repositories. I want to hear from you. If you had a manuscript ready today, would you prefer open access for maximum visibility or subscription for zero APC costs, and why? There is no universally right answer. It depends on your goals, your budget, and the audience you want to reach. With that choice in mind, let's move to another growing trend in publishing: preprints, and discuss when and why you might use them. Next, let's talk about preprints, which have become increasingly common across many scientific fields. A preprint is a full manuscript that is shared publicly before it undergoes peer review. It is posted on platforms such as bioRxiv or medRxiv, where anyone can read it for free. Why do researchers use preprints? 1. Rapid dissemination of findings. Instead of waiting months for peer review, you can share your discoveries within days. This is especially helpful during outbreaks, emerging infections, or fast-moving fields where time is critical. 2. Early visibility and feedback. Other researchers can read your work early, offer comments, and even collaborate with you before the paper is formally published. 3. Establishing priority. By posting a preprint, you make it clear that you are the first to report those findings, important in competitive research areas. But there are also limitations. 1. Preprints are not peer-reviewed. This means the findings have not yet been validated by experts. Readers must interpret them cautiously. 2. Risk of spreading unverified claims. Especially in clinical or public health settings, premature or incorrect conclusions can mislead practitioners or policymakers. 3. Some journals have restrictions. While most reputable journals now accept submissions that previously appeared as preprints, a few still do not. Always check the journal's policy before uploading. Let me ask you, would you feel comfortable posting your manuscript as a preprint before peer review? Why or why not? Some researchers embrace preprints for visibility. Others prefer waiting for peer review. Both approaches are valid, as long as you understand the benefits and risks. Now that we've explored preprints, let's move into one of the most practical parts of today's session: how to write a strong manuscript using the IRAMD structure.